Hi everyone, we're going to find the antiderivative of f. So we're trying to find f of x. Now this one, if I rewrite this, what this is really is f prime of x equals 1 divided by cube root of x. So if we look at the domain and you look at your critical numbers, you've got 0 is your critical number because it's not defined at 0. So when you look at x is less than 0, and we have to look when x is greater than 0. Or you could say the domain is negative infinity to 0 or 0 to infinity. But anyway, you have to look at it this way. So I'm going to rewrite this and find, not rewrite it, but find f of x equals, and I'm going to look at this, and I'm going to split this up by domain. So when I split it up by domain, I want to know if x is greater than 0, and then I also want to find if x is less than 0. I'm going to check this out. So basically, when I look at the f of x, when you add 1 to this, you're going to get x. You're adding 3/3, so you're going to get 2/3 divided by 2/3 plus c. Well, this equals 3/2. You just flip this around, x to the 2/3 plus c. So what we're going to do is we're going to split this up as 3/2. Let me do this in red. 3/2 x to the 2/3 plus c1 for the first one. And that's if x is positive, or 3/2 x to 2/3 plus c2 if x is negative. That's why they split this up here. So let's do the positive one first. So for the positive one, we're going to get f of 1. So f of 1 equals 3/2 plus c1. And f of 1 is 1. So you get 1 equals 3/2 plus c1. So 1 minus 3/2 equals c1. So c1 equals negative 1/2. So that's the one where x is positive. Now let's do the one where x is negative. And that means we're taking this one. So we're going to do f of negative 1. So that's going to be 3/2 times negative 1 to the 2/3 plus c2. Well, this is going to give you f of negative 1 equals negative 1. So negative 1 equals, let's see, square, cube root. So this is going to be negative plus 3/2 plus c2. So now you subtract 3/2 from both sides. So c2 is going to equal negative 5/3, or 5/2. Can we write this as 3 divided by 3? All right. Now we can rewrite this as f of x equals 3/2 x to the 2/3 minus 1/2, because c1 was negative 1/2. That's if x is positive, and 3/2 x to the 2/3 minus 5/2 if x is negative. That's because our c2 was negative 5/2. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.